Oh my goodness. Are Fife house prices going to drop in 2022? Roll VT! This is it, guys. I mean, we've got on today, we've got Jimmy Mullen on to talk about this. Hi, Jimmy, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Yourself?
Yeah, pretty good, thanks. I mean, it's pretty amazing when you think about it. I was looking at some of the numbers today and I was coming up with this article and I thought, wow, are the Fife house prices going to fall in 2022? Who knows? Let's have a discussion about this. Okay. But we'll look at it this way, though. As 1 in 2 Fife homes are selling within a fortnight of coming to market, are we actually going to be dropping house prices in 2022? I mean, one of the most astounding things that has happened in the last 12 months was something that did not happen. Even after the country saw its deepest recession since the Great Freeze in 1709, with GDP dropping 28% in one quarter, one would have expected a large fall in Fife house prices to follow. And yet, when you think about the logic of this, wait a minute, Fife house prices are up 10.3% 12 months ago. Jimmy, help me. What is going on?
Well, I think it's a mixture of different things. Firstly, the most easiest one to put your finger on is simple supply and demand. I think we've touched on this a number of times in different shows that we've done. I think it's less than, well, I think it's probably about 40 to 50% less homes on the market. I think it was 1,200 this time last year. We're now about 520.
Yep.
So this is, I know we're only starting on the article right now, but I may be skipping a few steps here. But if that continues, there's only one way it's going to go, and that's up. There's the same amount of buyers, if not more buyers, in the market because of COVID, wanting to get on with their life, wanting to do their goals, do their dreams now rather than later. That combined with what is available on the market, it's simple. It's going one way, and that's up.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to talk about the three reasons why it'll drop, and the 3 reasons probably why it won't drop. And we'll let the people out there decide for themselves. I'll be interested to hear people's comments about that whole thing, about if they think the Fife property market's going to drop in 2022 in terms of house prices or not. So even though the buying and selling Fife property has put on ice for the first time in the history of the Fife property market last spring due to the COVID-19 outbreak, as the Fife property market wobbled on the edge of deep recession, it stepped back in early summer and it's now rocketed upwards. I mean, look at this number. 51% of Fife homes are selling within a fortnight of coming to market. Let's be honest, Jimmy, are we saying that?
Yes.
It's like, wow.
It's probably quicker than that, to be honest. Without starting to boast or something like that, it is quicker than that. And people that I'm going out to see and give advice at the moment, it's like, if you're making this decision, be ready, because as soon as I do my pre-portal launch, I'm going to be on the phone with people ready to go, from people that I know. We've got different people that I know we've registered over the current market, people that have always loyal customers of ours, our investors, our first-time buyers, etc., etc. As soon as you make the decision, I'm going to be on the phone getting people through the door. So if you're a bit hesitant, maybe just make sure you're making the right decision for you. But yeah, I'm surprised it's actually that little. I thought it would be more than that.
Give me a rundown then. I mean, give me a rundown just to educate people. What is a pre-portal launch?
So at Fife Properties, we do a pre-portal launch exclusively on our social media channels for buyers in a position to proceed. So it goes on our social media channels before it goes to Rightmove, Zoopla, S1 Homes, and Prime Location. It's exclusively on our social media channels, and it's your chance to get it before anybody else sees it. So you're watching this now, hopefully you're clicking on the follow button so you can get our latest listings and all the properties that we're bringing to market for sale and for let as well.
But yeah, when you think about it, it's not just the case that people can jump in and buy it straight away. If you're wanting it before it goes to market, it's got to be a fantastic price. It's got to
Yeah,
stop the seller in their tracks. Is that what we're saying?
yeah, 100%. Well, it's clear here is the prices are on the way up, so you are going to have to obviously pay to get it before it goes to the market. But ultimately, imagine what you might have to pay if everybody else in the world sees it when it goes on Rightmove, Zoopla, or in prime location. So
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
it's one of those really.
I think people are amazed at what numbers we get in terms of the numbers we get coming to our website. Only our website. Every single month, you're almost like the size of Hampden Stadium visits our website. 2 times the size of the Hydro visits our website as well. And that's just our website. So when you think about it, you can get this on a pre-portal launch before it goes to our website, before it goes to Rightmove, before it goes to Zoopla. So you're almost preempting the fact that you're going to get in there before everybody else, and you will get that property then if it's accepted. I think that's the guarantee that most people are looking for, eh?
Yeah, it's simple as that. It's simple. If you get it on the pre-portal launch, you go through the door and you're interested, you want to make an offer, you make an offer. You make an offer. It's simple. If you want it before it goes to the market, then you come with us to your best offer. We'll take it to our client. We'll either say yes, it's been accepted, or look, if you don't want it to go to market, it's this number, and it's simple as that. And I think that's what the people in this current market want. They want the clarity on, can I get it or can I not? Because otherwise, some people don't like to go back and forth, but on the pre-portal launch, you do get that opportunity.
Yeah, and I think that's why the 51% of Fife homes are now selling within a fortnight of coming to market. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, somebody's a wee bit longer, more than that, and some people are a wee bit less than that. But overall, about 51% are coming to market. I mean, some commentators have actually suggested that the end of the land and buildings transaction tax holiday, together with the end of the furlough scheme in September the 30th this year, could be the catalyst for a drop in house prices itself. Even the government's own regulator of finances expects UK house prices to fall around a couple of percentage points in 2022. While some others have predicted around a 5% drop as unemployment levels increase post-furlough. However, other property market forecasters believe that property values in 2022 won't drop against the backdrop of a robust British economic recovery in Q2 and Q4 of 2021. I mean, what's your thoughts on the house prices for coming into the end of this year, Jimmy, and into the beginning of next year?
I think it's going up. Simple as that. When the furlough schemes ended, or what should I say is, we now got June, July as the date of where we're going back to the norm. So everybody's going to be going back to work after the next 3 months. When they got their 3 months pay slips, they're going to be able to get mortgages easier than when you can get on the furlough scheme. And then you're going to have also, I think people are going to be staying a lot more in the UK, so they're going to be local areas are going to be thriving more with the industry, etc. So that's going to also help the local markets as well. So I think it's going to go up. The furlough scheme and that ending, I don't think that's going to affect it. I think it's going to help buyers be able to get their mortgages, etc. easier.
Yeah, so you're predicting basically demand will get even higher.
Correct. Well, there's a lot of people out there right now that are so struggling to get mortgages, but when they get off the furlough scheme and they get their 3 months pay slips, it's going to be a lot easier for them to get a mortgage.
Yeah. I mean, there's Linda commenting saying that it sold a 2-bed for over 12,000 over the home report value in Dunfermline at 142,000. A 3-bed in the same area got less than this last year. So now, I mean, it shows you how much the market is going up. It is pretty ballistic out there. I mean, my prediction probably, I have a sneaking suspicion this is going to continue to rise, if not just level out, if that makes sense. I mean, it's exactly what you said. The furlough scheme, once people come back from furlough, they'll get their pay slips in place, then lenders will be more adherent to lending them the money on that furlough as well, because they're no longer on it. So that will exacerbate the market. And if we've got a huge demand now, and we've got shortage of supply just now, I mean, is the answer for people to sell now then?
Some people that have the luxury of second homes or stuff like that that can move into there without going into rented, because some people don't want to go into rented. That's it, and they want to buy a bigger home or their dream home. That is the advice I'm giving them. You can sell now, rent for, or live in your other home for X amount of years, because you're going to get with the correct marketing negotiating, you're going to get that much more over the home report value. That's going to be covering your rental and money in your pocket as well. So that could help when the market maybe levels out.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about the logic as well, though, over the last 10 years, house prices on average in Fife have gone up about 45 to 46%. So literally, just somebody having a second home, holding on to it and servicing the debt, as in having a tenant in it, they've actually got an automatic increase of 46% in the value of the property. And then it's almost like stocks and shares. Maybe now is the time for them to get out and actually realise the gain and actually walk away with that and use the money to do something else. I mean, the logic is if you've got quite a big mortgage, you might actually consider, I tell you what, I'll just sell it now. I'll take the gain and I'll pay off my mortgage. And then, yay, mortgage free. Fantastic. Yeah. Or you might say to yourself, I tell you what, I could then remortgage that and get more money out. I can go and buy another property and do a buy-to-let again. So there is, and then when you think about all these things that are coming forward with rising house prices, these are all things that are catalysts to actually create more and more demand all the time with more people coming into the market. I mean, what do you think will happen in the next 12 months? We've had a wee discussion about that. On a positive side, what I do know is the land and buildings transaction tax holiday enable Fife home buyers to spend those tax savings on a price paid for a Fife home. I mean, they were basically taking the couple of £1,000 and adding it onto the value of the house, saying that, well, they were getting away with it, so they were paying a bit more, and certainly accounts for some uplift in the house prices, as mentioned. Also, the historically low interest rates have also supported Fife home buyers' affordability for the last 13 years, since the credit crunch itself continued. Secondly, with people spending many months working from home, this has seemed to have polarized people's inclination to make lifestyle changes. I mean, we've seen it ourselves. People are now opting to go for gardens, aren't they?
Yeah, gardens, home offices, studies, extra bedrooms. That is the most common thing. So a lot of people, bigger gardens. They're even building like summer houses, etc., so they can do it in the garden away from the house as well. So yeah, all those little extra bits are coming more and more desirable.
And then a thriving housing market then almost says there's a thriving secondary market. And what I mean by that is the number of jobs being created by home improvements, by new homes, everybody runs down to B&Q, everybody goes to the DIY stores, they buy locally at superstores, they buy off of Amazon. So all these jobs, it's spin-off as a result of a buoyant housing market and sustaining. That's why, in my opinion, I think the government can't afford to have any housing jitters or housing crash. And they'll do everything within their power to make sure that the housing market will stay stable. So that's why you're either going to go up or we're just going to peter out and we'll be stable. I think that's where we're going to be. We have noticed as well, though, house prices are getting to a stage where first-time buyers can't afford the house, and now they're going for the flats.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And going back to it's stable now, this boom has been going on for too long now. For it to fall, it's either going to stay the same or it's going to keep going.
Yeah, and exponentially when you think about it, if you've got a flat right now, the flat is probably going to get a better increase in value, because house prices at the upper end of the scale are moving out. Therefore, first-time buyers and investors are going to have to now buy flats rather than houses. So therefore, there's more demand for these types of properties. I mean, the last 10 years, flats prices hardly went up anything. In reality, they only probably went up about 10 or 15%, as opposed to house prices about 46%. So there's a huge difference there. But now I would predict that flats prices will continue to go up. I mean, we saw ourselves recently, we sold a 2-bedroom in Buckhaven, a 2-bedroom ex-local area flat last year, which would have been 55.
Yeah, I've already got to say about that. Yeah.
What did we sell it for? 75?
Yeah, I think it was 74. But yeah, she had a couple of other regions. I told her it was X. I said, look, I think it's this. She said, are you sure? I said, I'm sure. And then put it on at that, and then it went above and beyond because I knew exactly the market that it would be going for, the market that we could target, social media, and that was it. Done. Didn't even go to Rightmove. Didn't go to Zoopla.
You got it sold from social media.
Yeah, so that's another one.
Wow. I tell you, if you're out there, people, you need to follow our social media channels. You don't need to like us. You just need to follow the page. So you make sure when we go live, You get the instant breaking news. There's a new property about to launch into the market. You get to see it on social media 5 days before it hits any website at all, and you have a clean break at this to get in there before everybody else. That's really what it comes down to. I mean, finally, the government as well has recently introduced the 5% deposit mortgages for first-time buyers, which is going to make the market even more in demand. And all these factors will fuel the demand and hence may cause house prices to rise again.
Well, how quickly did the first home fund sell out, or I say sell out, or
first home fund was 60 million was given to first-time buyers in Scotland to buy their first home, and they were getting up to £25,000 each. So basically, I think it was 1,000 or 2,400 people it helped. However, it was gone in 8 days.
There you go.
8 days ago live. Last year, it took until September. So April, May, June, July, August, September, almost about 6 or 7 months. This year, 8 days. Admittedly, it was quarter the amount of money, but still, you would think quarter the amount of money, then it would probably take a couple of months at least. But 8 days and it was gone.
Don't worry, guys, I got on it.
You were quite fortunate. You were in there straight away last year. Now, on a more cautious note, I do not believe these very sturdy Fife house prices value rises over the past year will persist at these levels for the next 12 months. We can't keep seeing that going up and up and at that record increase. You know, we can see that. I mean, 55,000 a year later, and we're looking at 75,000 almost. I mean, that's a huge jump in a year, but that was a long time coming over a 10-year period for the flats market. With buyers having to use many thousands of pounds on the land and building transaction payments as well at the higher end of the market, the price they pay for their Fife home will be curtailed, meaning property values will by definition ease slightly. Well, supply and demand sometimes. When you look at East Neuk, you possibly look at Cooper as another area, Glenrothes is another area. St Andrews, a bit more stable. Supply and demand isn't really exacerbating and outstripping each other. But a simple fact is the British economy has yet to feel the full effect of the largest recession since 1709. We must remain considerate about the long-term effects of the economy, and that means the unemployment levels as well on the property market. I mean, that's the key here as well, isn't it? You know, I'm saying to people, Jimmy, if you're considering selling in the next 6 months, maybe you should be doing it now, because by the time September comes and furlough ends, and then stamp duty ends down south as well, you know, the reality is it might be a different picture. So is it the fact if you wait 6 months, dare I say, you're maybe taking a gamble?
Yeah, I would agree with you. What I would say is, what we do know, you have to go on now. You can't, right now, no one can predict the future. What we do know right now is there's a shortage of properties on the market. The prices are going up. I can't even remember the last time we didn't accept anything over home report value.
Yeah.
But in every single time. So right now we know that's going to be the home report value. This is a target that we're looking market value, and we know it's pretty much it's happening time and time again. So right now it's the facts. The future is the unexpected. So if you're looking to make a decision on facts and numbers, then the time is now.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about the logic of it, when we're getting I mean, it's not happening for everybody, but everybody's going over home report really. But if you're getting offers sometimes of 22 and 33% more than the asking, and then the home report value, actually, that's astronomical, eye-watering figures. But people out there are prepared to pay that to get the property of their dreams.
Yeah, we've had one. I won't say where it is, but we had one. We sold it on social media. Unfortunately, the sale fell through. We put it on the market. 4 offers, higher than what we got.
And we got more than the first time round.
Brilliant.
That's amazing. So it's like it's like, oh, my house is falling through. Oh, I've got more money. It's like just within the time of that house sale falling through, they've actually got more money than they got before. Remarkable, and that shows you how buoyant the housing market is just now. I mean, it's interesting times for the Fife property market. If the price you want to achieve for your Fife home was the most important thing, now as opposed to 2022, might be the good time to consider placing your property on the market. think about that for a minute. You know, that's probably the right thing to do. Don't forget, you can still put your Fife property on the market, find a buyer, and then go and see what is available to buy as a result of that. This is not the case where you're going to be left without somewhere to go. Many buyers will wait to find the property they actually want. Yet, if they can't and won't, you won't be made homeless as a result of that. Scottish property law means you can still come away from a sale and you won't be forced to sell. That's what people don't realise in this conversation.
Yeah,
We have people that are, I go into some people and I have to almost calm them down. And the fact that they get panicky when I talk about if your house sells within a week. Well, you're not going to sell within a week and move out within a week. It's going to take at least a couple of months, 2 months, 3 months to get across the line. But the key here is that you can choose the entry date because it's your property. If someone can't fit into your entry date, then you just don't sell it to that person. You wait on the next person coming along because there's a lot of demand out there. It's as simple as that. And that's it, guys. I mean, that's it. If anybody's got any questions out there, please feel free to ask us directly. If you'd like to know a bit more about any aspect of buying or selling your property in Fife, please feel free to message us here direct or give us a call or an email or whatever you want to do to get in touch with us via any social media platform, and we're more than happy to do that. Thanks very much for your time, Jimmy.
Thank you, Jim.
And I'll see everybody next time on the Fife Property Show.